Longevity Form Coaching specializes in personal and online training. Move pain free and enjoy life without constant aches and pains. They help people heal from lingering injuries, get back to enjoying life, and move without fear of pain. Located in 14th 646 Jennings Avenue, Hot Springs, South Dakota, including services such as private personal training, online personal training, group boot camps, improving general fitness, muscle and strength gain, improving flexibility, rehabilitation, nutrition and meal plans, physiotherapy, and group training. Join the Longevity Form Coaching 14-day free transformation challenge and experience it by yourself. Or book a consultation call and discuss your case. You can also choose which of their packages suits best for you. The 3-month basics training packages for $531, the 3-month elite training package for $801, the 6 months basic training package for $985, the 6 months elite training package for $1,485, and the 12-month basics training package for $1,773, and the 12-month elite training package for $2,673. Remember, Longevity Form Coaching, move pain-free, get back to enjoying life, and move without fear of pain. For your information, the conversation program comes in two formats. One format is informal, for a language you would use to hang out, talk to friends or relatives who you are close to. And formal, for a language you would use in your job and in the academic world, or where you need to be a decent folk and behave with class. Okay? So schedule one class for $25, 3 classes for $50, and 6 classes for $100. That is informal. You double up the money. If it's formal, it would be 1 class for $50, 3 classes for $100, and 6 classes for $200. All to this service you can add for chat support 24/7 and tracking your progress and giving you reviews. You can have that for $25 for 15 days, and you can have that for $50 for 30 days. That is in case if you want to take the whole package of the conversation program, stay active and practice.
Hey, welcome everybody to the third episode of the Old Asshole podcast. And yeah, entertainment, huh? Entertainment worldwide. It's the news, is what we do. It's life. It's a cultural thing. It's part of um, a universal language out there that extended. Um, it extended. It became like the term viral, like a disease. Viral is now could be a disease, or not a disease, but something viral that it like COVID. It propagates itself faster, and it gets it to everyone. So I get the internet and the whole technology game surrounded and composed by radio, all televisions, uh, phones, telecommunications, where they had to be the machine, the stationary thing, and then how it evolved to being um, we don't having to be the more portable. It became portable and inalambric. That's a term in English that they didn't need the wires anymore. It was wireless, and yeah, and after that, it all became like very quickly the transition between phones, because I remember all this shit between phones and like smartphones and shit like that. It was like I guess 5 6 years where they 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 took it took that long to transition from like just new small phones instead of the bigger ones, just like small and then smaller, and then like the regular ones that were this small and they got in your hand, and the transition to the ones that had this and the bigger ones, and then like sort of a game thing, and then it changed to what we know now today. I would say like 6 7 years before it even become that commercialized, like one of the market rulers on the world, telecommunication structure, material, products, and all that shit. So moving along with the entertainment thing is the, I guess, a lot of shit going on in Hollywood, huh? A lot of shit with the everybody's involved in this shit because it's part of a cultural thing. So you need, you got like, if you're a public figure, I guess you're supposed to incline to one side or the other side, you know, and that sort of put pressures on people, on a person, because a person relates so much to somebody that would actually share or change his views in the same way this looked up person B is from the perspective of person A. So having said this, it's just kind of annoying to have an opinion on everything, especially if you uh, you know, um, have too many expectations of live too much, or you think you have a reputation around around other persons, and you're worried, or you get to live by what they think or what they say. So uh, it's kind of a miserable life. So I guess to make it interesting, you got to choose a side. I guess, you know, for the entertainment's sake. It's and I choose like a cultural thing. I choose who to hang out with and who not to hang out with. And yeah, I can discriminate. I discriminate because I'm not having fun. If I'm not having fun, I'm not gaining anything, and the other person are having a blast. You know, that's not me being selfish. That's just me saying that, or you being like absorbed in your world. No, sometimes it's just, but unless it's your family, it's like you have to. You do you really have to live your life according to friendship, or according to um, those around you that is not your family, but it's like your closest circles. So so it doesn't become a stationary. It rather becomes a temporal thing. Temporal, you know, temporal. Like it's not timeless, but you eventually gonna change your lifestyle, and wherever you're from, it's not gonna be the same. I mean, it's kind of like getting to net getting to know yourself better. So this way you develop certain skills, like so you become a public figure, and you try to like work online and do all the shit, all that, and then what, like your circles are gonna be kind of something changing, you know. So you kind of like finding yourself in your life, and then caught up into having to make decisions like this, you know, like going public and stand on one side of the coin and the other side of the coin, good versus evil, you know, the people who want to like be positive, and some of the negative, and then some like certain dichotomy that's out there everywhere. It's neat, like there's a pressure thing, like it needs to be polarized. Everything has to be polarized, like it's either minus, or it's either addition, or you know, ti times this number, and the opposite of that. So it really becomes a thing where you have to be either either become in anonymous, like invalid, like you're an internet troll, to you become an internet troll to try to say what you gotta say, to try to like disguise yourself from who's talking, who's speaking, who's communicating. So by becoming public, or having the decision to change, to do something like, say, artistic, or something new, something not new, but something like original, you know, that's when the things really start to, when the shit hit the fan. I guess that's what the term they call it, with when it becomes real. Like you are presenting yourself out there, and you're this person, you're doing this. So here's the thing: some people get it, some people don't get it. You know, and it's just millions of millions of millions of humans out there. So with access to technology, the same thing you see every day with people just like they're on their phone being consumers. Probably just, I don't know at what point it is, but there are millions of millions of millions who are either in this level of 1 to 10 entertaining themselves with the phone, or or 10 entertaining themselves with the phone, or one not entertaining themselves with the phone, but they all have it, so in a way, digitalizing yourself makes you uh, a person that is not consuming anymore. It's sort of just using it to get his interests to get his interests going, and also focusing on having a development, a development in whatever aspect of life is. But that's pretty much where where um where a real person stands, and not a wannabe person. Like a wannabe person are these influencers. That's the term they use, or professional content creators. Either that's what some kind of thing related to that area of work. But real companies and business wise, they are called just because they bring numbers. Like if you don't have any numbers, you're not gonna get, let's say, major contracts or shit like that. Unless you work one by one, unless you offer your services and don't starve. You know, you might have a lot of fucking views and a lot of fucking numbers, and yet you don't make deals, you don't make profit out of it. It could happen, or it could happen that some guy that starting has everything, but nobody knows, and he won't say either. So some guys just, or I mean, kind of like you don't need to do this, but you're doing this anyway because it's just a way of communicate and a way of doing something, for not only for the for the entertainment sake, but you're doing something you like, you're doing something you may be good or not good at it, and obviously your service is mostly as a real person out there is one of the things, like a game changing between presentational thing. Back in the day, I remember, not back in the day, like 5, 6, 7 years ago, and it was a digital world, all right. It was the digital world already, and I still got sent my card, like this little business's card. uh show one, yeah. Well, so that kind of thing, that back in the day, I mean, 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago, that thing was your presentational thing. For example, I got one here, presentational example. And now it's a digital thing. It's like you do your images, or you pay somebody to do it. Like, that's just, if you are not good at that thing, just pay someone to do it. Like a decent work is not that unaffordable. Actually, it has become something cheap. There are people to work on your image, there are people who work on the audio, people that work on the video. So if you want to like invest on yourself, pretty much your skills to sell out there, that's what you have to do eventually. And everybody from 2020, 2020, 21, or yeah, during the pandemic, everybody around the world, let's say, the most um, able to survive persons out there in the whole globe, decided that they were not gonna wait, like, because they were not gonna wait on the situation like to change again. They were doing what they were gonna do anyway, but they actually put themselves to do something, and uh, that pretty much closed the gap between or how even the most corporate business can work to how a regular or one person works by themselves. So that gap of professionalism has pretty much closed, because corporate world or business high, the tops levels, they also do one-to-one vehicles. They also work with technology. They also, when they cannot be present, and that could happen often. Um, they use technology. So, and well, what I was trying to say, like I extended too much there, but having decisions to make in terms of standing on one side or on another side. Okay, so I've said I've said in my stories, I've said in my media that my agendas, I want to be clear, and 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 I put my agendas there being fitness. What's the other thing called? It was fitness. It was foods. Yeah, it was foods and language. Yeah, language is because well, this is not my mother tongue. This is my second language I learned, and I'm doing the podcast uh, as a thing, to show, to show my skills. I had a guest the other time in episode number 2. A friend joined, and and I'm looking forward to have more guests. But what I'm trying to say is that having to choose a side again, having to choose a side, you know, being public and doing this kind of things really someone has to play the wheel. So I said that those are my agendas, and those are my real agendas. But this is me now looking towards the future, because in the past I haven't done any of those things. So I have done them without a purpose. So I have a purpose now. I plan to continue on doing my language thing in my life, my fitness thing in my life, and keep eating meat, keep eating you know um, whole eggs, keep eating protein dense food, um, particularly meat. I mean, the agenda is meat. The agenda is saying that meat is good. I can't believe what they're doing, or how have we come to this point where you actually need to say that meat is irreplaceable, and you could have it just one, let's say a couple of wings a day, or a big steak. Just eat it once, or eat on your lunch, or either on your dinner. It doesn't matter, but just eat once a day your piece of meat. It's gonna make something good. Cannot keep it. You need the protein. That's kind of something to live by. And then if you can do it in the more twice a day, that's even better. If we can do it thrice a day, 3 times a day, with rice, with whatever you want to mix it up with. It works. Even with bread. Even I mean, it's a food that goes along in either time, either 3 times of the day, morning, afternoon, or night. So uh, and my beliefs, yeah, what I said, and my beliefs are freedom, God, and family. Well, freedom is just, it's a word, it's a representation, I guess, of being able to do what you want to do with along certain along with certain limitations. You're not actually gonna do what you really want to do, because it's not it's not the it's not a wild civilization anymore. You could have done that like 200, 300, 400 years ago, and maybe you could get away with whatever shit you wanted to do, but like Bonnie and Clyde shit type of shit, you know, um, become actually a delinquent and pirate. I think that's the only thing where you actually get to do what you really want to do. But nowadays, and facing reality is just is not enabled. It's not a possible thing to do anymore because you got cameras everywhere. A lot of humans have covered all pretty much habitable territories around Earth. So if you go back to 200, 300, 400, 500 years ago, then you probably could have gone away because you got time, you got time to find places, going places without a lot of people, you know, even the remote places that, you know, have access now to human beings have pretty much colonized every fucking area, still colonizing more, real estate, land, and shit like that. All that business, you know, it's never gonna stop. So um, we have built our empire on death, on destroying habitats, on making climate acceleration. So yeah, I mean, eventually what's going to happen is not a big fucking deal. It's not a big fucking deal. It's not like an emergency or some fucking shit. Like heat is gonna attack you. Heat is gonna fucking kill you. It ain't that bad at the end of the day. It's like it's more tolerable than having actually a disease, like a disease. Let's say a disease like where you're born fucked up and have like allergies, or you're born fucked up and like uh, are miserable because you got a lot of limitations, you know, in terms of conditions and illness and shit like that, you know. But it's more tolerable than that because climate change goes after that. So if you don't got any of that, we I mean, a lot of homeless out there and shit like that, you know. But like the human species have got the average human and species, man, woman, families, or other human beings, get inside a fucking house, get inside a fucking building, you know, in a infrastructure that has uh, a sufficient capacity, you know, where you can live uh, by certain conditions and survive the climate shit that's going on. Uh, you know, unless you really have to move because the atmosphere and the whole fucking territory changes. It has a huge impact on our lifestyle. Yeah. But nobody's dying, you know, like not a lot of people's dying, and eventually that shit was gonna happen. Like everybody dies, everybody will die. Nature's a motherfucker, you know. It's too big, too powerful, and shit like that, and all this and all that business about nature, you know. And but every it's just a climate thing, like accelerated but by the rate of Mother Earth, something like that. Like uh, too much shit on the mining, like going electrical. Going electrical is just a faster way to fucking accelerate climate change when everything could be nuclear, like nuclear power, uh, could be like instead of being a nuclear war, motherfucker, instead of trying to blow them each other up, off, beat off each other, you know, with the fucking huge nukes. They are shaping like my fucking head, my face. So uh, instead of doing that for the explosive thing, for the boom boom and jacklight, uh, it should not. It should, but it it's in some way now that like they're governments and everything are turning turning themselves out, like are turning out from nuclear power, from nuclear plants. And what the fuck? I mean, why don't we all this is not the way we're not a threat anymore, because we don't work with nuclear power anymore. That doesn't make us a threat. We have the fucking nukes. So instead of having the nukes, have nuclear plants, motherfucker. And electrical shit is more mining, is more slave work, is more dangerous. It's more dangerous. Is I would compare it to having to sell seeds, to cultivate seeds and all that shit, like for the let's say for the green fucking things like such as the electrical. The other green is the veganism and the shit like that, like the beans and all that fucking thing. That's what they do to the fucking area, an area but mining becomes makes it, the whole surroundings of the area makes it death. So in a way, it's death and death again, like. And 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 yeah, I mean, that's why meat, pretty much, I decided to go along with meat and have an agenda of meat. My beliefs in meat, my beliefs in family are just like that. Families is it's all we got. I mean, I gotta say, like, I don't have a family of my own, but I really value the thing of a family, of having a family. And a real family, it's just most of the time dad, mom, sisters, brothers, and yeah, and most of the time are also your grandparents. Most of the time, could be your cousins, your uncles, and shit like that. But family becomes a thing uh, that when you have passed like certain age, or let's say maturity, like all that matters is your family anymore. Like the entertainment, the whatever things going on, whatever fucking, it doesn't matter anymore, really. Like you don't live for it, you don't live by it, and then you realize like there people like, and you can hang out or spend your life with, like, are pretty much family. So that's when you realize that, oh Jesus, oh shit, like I live like for my family, let's say, and and you care about these people, and you have to do this, you develop these relationships with them, you it's just a normal thing. So having a family is just, it's just a really human thing, like a really civilized thing. So it gets you on living more than dying. So that's why I say family. So, and God, then, yeah, I was raised Christian Catholic, and I don't want to be a fucking hypocrite, saying God this, God that, or I'm good in terms of religion, in terms of sins, and whether or not meeting the Father, meeting the Lord. Like, um, I would say I'm going straight to hell, or meaning like everyone is gonna go to hell or something like that. So for me, it's more like I am sure, or I want to, or forgive me, Lord, but I'm going straight to hell because I'm an entertainment whore. I am a an entertainment whore, and goddamn, that's unforgivable if that's a fucking sin. Even that you don't find that anywhere, that you're pretty much, um, let's say the term cattle, yeah, in the internet and the online thing, you have become a puppet. You're playing the clown of the town, the clown of the kingdom, the buffoon, and to entertain the king. So some of a theoretical figure, theoretical, rhetorical representations of the situation. So I think I'm not gonna go to heaven. Okay, no matter what I do. And this is where what I say. I don't want to be a hypocrite because I'm not trying to be perfect anymore. I'm not trying to like um make amends because I've made mistakes and there's no amend to that. I got to live with that shit. So even the pastor, the pastor, the guy in the fucking thing where you confess your sins and you tell them, what you think is evil and you did or you say or you thought. That's the kind of thing to get to let's say to receive, to ask and receive for forgiveness of the Lord. So and I remember a lot of times they say it was poison. What you're doing is poison. We think it's poison. It's killing yourself. It's doing this to yourself and shit like that. But yeah, but it doesn't. Like it doesn't at that point. At that point of actually making you do some you should do some shit. So big difference in thinking and doing. So, but that's why I don't want to be a hypocritical because my thinking goes like beyond what's moral and what's positive, what's negative. So I try to stay and just leave it there on the mind and my actions just normal human being, civilized person. So having said that, God damn, motherfucker, uh, it's been a pleasure to do this podcast again, and looking forward to having more guests. Contact my services, contact Nonprofit Studios, and to wrap it up here, I was trying to say that about the hypocritical thing that I don't want to be a hypocritical quoting God or saying putting God, family, and freedom first, because freedom, I believe in the American values of freedom. Yeah, from the 70s, from the 80s, if, even from before, like the founding fathers ideas. Actually, what government is it's about. And if good people are are there and are working towards the most let's say the most good heart values to work with, and they do the work government works. And looking at the past, before the you know before the taxing, i recently uh I recently found out about this. When you do the when before the wars, there was no fucking taxing. And yeah, it was another scenario. But if I imagine if at some point there was actually no taxing, and it became a successful country, it became a profitable model, um, then nowadays time, the transition to nowadays means we can reduce that and focus on actually growth actually growth on business thing, on economics thing, on politics thing, because it's all translated to that measurement of success is money. That is measurement of success, compared to the world now. Let's say the European or North America is different to South America. South America, let's say, not everybody, but let's say the most average person, um, the most average country has a cost of living, uh, 3 times less, 4 times less than let's say the USA could have. They could call a major recession in their economy, um, something that is related to um, 10 times bigger profit, 10 times the difference between a recession in South America. Like South America could a recession could affect, uh, could make people hungry. And that's the big difference with the other recession, that it doesn't make it, it doesn't get to the point where it makes people hungry. Like they could still afford food, I guess, but either way, it makes the situation worse, makes the situation dangerous. Why is it dangerous? All this and all that is dangerous because 24 hours or more or less happen, and if there is no food, there is no money to get food. Yeah, the decisions are not think anymore or any kind for let's say for a civilized world. So um, put God, family, and freedom as my values there, because I appreciate the value of freedom. I appreciate the value of family, and I was raised Christian Catholic, so uh, I I just it's just part of it. It's just a cultural thing, Everybody and like every religion has, every country has its religion, every traditional thing, cultural thing that every country has. So I was raised in that world of Christian Catholic, and it's a good thing. It's a good thing for it's a good thing for man. It's a good thing for another human being to follow. Man, women. It's a traditional thing, and I think it's good. You know, and yeah, I mean, I'm not pushing God in your life. I mean, that's that relationship you have with Him. I'm not gonna say make or try like have another agenda that mentioning the word. I mean, the word by itself means God means something to you, and something related to a cultural thing, to a traditional thing, to a good thing, to a morality, to let's say yeah, to a morality, to a code of your own, and yeah, and having to choose to that, or instead of having none, and having none is life is so hard, life is too miserable, like fucking miserable, boring, and it's not that positive, not that negative either, but it's not Hollywood wise, entertainment wise. It's not that life, let's say life is not um full of colors or shit like that. Life is not full of plenty of fireworks. There's more. Most of it is just silence. Yeah, most of it is just black and white. So that's why I say you have this code, you have this appreciation of God in your life, or you don't. And if you do, uh, it's gonna make you stronger. It's not gonna make you more miserable. It's not gonna take away the pain either. It's not gonna take whatever things that made you in the past make you the person you are now, but in sort of a way keeps you in line. And it's just don't think about shit too much. Like maybe it's a getaway. Maybe it's a thing that takes the weight off your shoulders, sort of thing. And yeah, I mean that's pretty much uh, why I recommend, why I believe all that, because at the end of the day, it has been working for hundreds of years. It's a proven system, and what proves is that the human survival and the human families and something related to actual numbers, you know, that that come from having that as a cultural thing and not having it. So not having it, uh, I guess, is something that's being developed right now, or is a new figure. But I still think that knowing all those cultures, all those entertainment part of a traditional thing, that each population in each civilization has is people with their own language, with their own religion, with their own customs. Make something to start. It's a starting point. So if you go around the world, if you find out more about many other cultural things that make you different and make other people different, then you're gonna find out that that there are a lot of that stuff. So does it really matter, uh, or it doesn't matter at all? So we kind of have that you're walking in that edge, you're walking in that edge. But since you were raised Christian Catholic and all that shit, all that business, then therefore you gotta respect it. Therefore you have to like, kind of like say to the brothers, or say to the I didn't want to say to use the word community, but community wise, it's just a cultural thing. So like without a sense of hierarchy, or a sense of someone being inferior or someone being superior, it's just a cultural thing. So you either just live with it, or care about it too much, and for me is making that clear, and having an understanding of those beliefs and values that I put out there are part of my personality, or mostly makes me the person I am, let's say. And moving forwards towards working on that aspect, on that matters. um, that becomes a lifestyle, that becomes a practice. So kind of putting out that out there to um, to maybe connect with that type of persons, to relate more, or to that person relate to me more, so we actually get on topic, or we get along faster, having let's say fuck, what's the word, mm, having like a click. Yeah, like having or click with someone or something like that. So instead of instead of pretending, to be this or to be that, to get advantages, to get stuff, you know or mostly to get the, what's this thing, uh to get advantage, or to get ahead of people, of another person, or to change levels, to, something related to a profit, something related to gain a thing, uh, pretending to be something else, something that you're not, or probably uh, living living up too much to the expectations. Um, that's kind of playing a role that you're not gonna find yourself, something like that. So for me, is making clear my agendas, my values, and just putting out there on the fucking podcast, just putting out there uh, the material that I want to be heard, the services that I'm providing, what I am selling out there, as a person, as a businessman, and how do I think, what do I think, why do I think that. It's just the way, man. It's just the way it is. I cannot explain any further how complex communication is today. So doing this podcast and having mentioned all of this, my reasons for it, for mentioning it, my reasons to tell them are for a professional thing, are for get to know me thing, a presentational thing, to work with it, because from day one to 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 I don't know, from day one to day 99999 something, it's gonna be the same values. It's gonna be the same beliefs. I'm not gonna change that all the shit. I'm not gonna bend over to other ideas and having principles, having something solid to rely on. It's just eventually gonna. It's just eventually gonna um, say. It's gonna eventually um, be more trustful. I guess that'll be the word. Be more real. Yeah, yeah. Be more real, or be more solid. You know, entertainment wise is more entertaining than the rather the other thing with when it's just something unreal, something played, something, I wouldn't say fake, because fakeness is part of the artistry, but something that's entertaining in a way that it's supposed to be entertaining, rather than something really entertaining that is just entertaining. It's just entertaining. It's just, wow, this is entertaining for me. Yeah, this is, I'm being entertained. And there are other stuff that's supposed to entertain me. That's entertaining now. Or, that's what entertainment is. Something like that. So two different feelings when something is solid, when something is authentic, and the other thing where it's just probably played, probably part of an entertainment game. So I'm gonna wrap it up here. Oh, remember podcast every week. I recorded this. I don't even know. Yeah, I recorded this quite before I posting it, because I had to work on the presentation and all that things. So check out my link. Oh yeah, the links, fucking links. Oh my god.